Miss Chelsea Gardner,
Darling.
oh queen of social media. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, so let's talk let's talk Facebook ads today.
Let's do it. Let's
Is
do
that a
it.
good topic?
I love talking about Facebook ads.
And I in Facebook ads and Instagram, I guess all the same thing. About and I know you work with a lot of different social media. Is uh is that really the elephant in the room still is Facebook and Instagram ads? Is that kind of the 95% of it kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Facebook. So, yeah, whenever we say Facebook ads, you can cross promote. So, Meta ads are going to go to Facebook and Instagram. And honestly, I find that still is kind of the king of advertising at the least amount of cost.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of where our crowd is as a general rule. I think I you know it 'cause like I know like TikTok obviously has been on everybody's not everybody's but has been on the front page for a lot of different reasons. Some of
Yeah,
them good and some of them maybe challenging, perhaps, who knows.
right.
But I still see TikTok as a place to be entertained and not really educated per se. It's more of I'm laying in bed getting ready to go to sleep and let me watch something funny that'll
Right.
like am I off on that, or is that the case, or is it changed?
I mean, honestly, that's kind of what I see too. And especially in the loan officer space, just who your ideal target audience is going to be more on what I have found is on Facebook primarily, to be honest. Anytime I do webinars or presentations, I always ask people, where do you spend most of your time personally? Not for business, but like personally. And a lot of people still say Facebook. And
Yeah.
I just think that that's really the main spot if you want to kind of be visible is showing up there and happen to cross post to Instagram for those that are also using Instagram and scrolling Instagram. But TikTok for sure, I think it's such a hit or miss platform. There are obviously people out there that do really really well on TikTok, like, but I think that's much more of an anomaly anomaly than Facebook or Instagram.
And the service that you provide is, and correct me if I misspeak here, but the service you provide is primarily social media ads and
Mhm.
only for loan officers. Like you're not
Yep.
one of the people that you do 15 other verticals and, oh, by the way, I also do loan officers. Like this is your gig.
This is my gig. Yep,
Yeah.
yeah. So really kind of diving into LOs, which I think what makes it nice, really being able to dive into one niche is understanding what is working, seeing what's working for other clients, really being able to dive into the market or just what's going on, right? Knowing what is going to maybe perform, not perform. Everyone's audience is different, but really understanding what that looks like for loan officers specifically has been super helpful, which is why honestly I haven't really ventured into other areas because it just makes it very easy and focused.
So on so on the idea of running ads for loan officers, are these typically like a video ad, or is it like just words? I'm gonna say text. I don't mean text like a cell phone, but just
Yeah.
is it just words or a picture with a little catchphrase, or what's a little bit of everything, or what's the primary thing to be doing here?
So when it comes to ads, it's essentially set up to look almost exactly like a post on your regular Facebook page. So you're going to have a caption, right? So whatever you're writing in your caption, you're going to have a picture and or a video, and then you're also going to have some form of call to action. So learn more, see here, subscribe, sign up, whatever that looks like. And the really cool thing inside of like Facebook, Instagram ads is you can run something called dynamic creative where you actually can upload multiple graphics, multiple videos into one ad campaign and multiple captions. And Facebook on the back end will kind of rotate between this caption, caption one, video one, caption two, graphic one, as long as obviously they're all in the same topic. So VA home loans, USDA, get a second opinion, whatever that might look like, as long as it's all on the same topic, it'll rotate through those, which is really cool because Facebook is truly amazing on the back end when it comes to like the algorithm and figuring out what's going to work and what's not going to work. It's like a magic mystery that nobody understands. And you'll see like sometimes like whereas video performs better typically on Instagram when you are just posting organically, I find a lot of times just a regular old graphic on ads works better than video. So it's kind of interesting to see all of that.
And what is the like if I'm running an ad, what's my end result that I'm looking for? So if I say, "Hey Chelsea, I know I'm supposed to," or I hear everybody talking about social media, and I do post and whatnot, but I'm thinking about running ads. How can I tell my ads are being successful? How do I know that's? How do I measure
Yeah.
my return on investment?
Yeah. I think a couple of different things. It's going to be outcome based. So, one is really it's going to be based on visibility. One of the biggest goals for most all of my LOs is just being seen. So, that number is going to be what's called reach and getting in front of as many eyeballs as possible inside of our custom list, right? So in front of our real estate agents or our past clients or our pals, that is going to be reach. Now, I do also have some that run lead generation ads, primarily still to those same audiences, but let's say for like a webinar that they're hosting for their real estate agents or a webinar that they're hosting for, pre-approved and lookings, things like that. That's going to be lead gen, but and that will obviously be based on who comes in through the lead, but still targeting the exact people you're trying to get in front of is key, I think, in that.
So, which leads to something else I was going to ask is like, so should loan officers should they be focusing in on like buyer leads, referral partners, consumer direct, or both, or neither, or like what do you
Yeah.
recommend is the is my audience that I'm going after?
My number one recommendation is going to be your audiences. So, your real estate agents, your past clients, your pre approved and lookings, people that you can pull from your CRM and upload. You're literally handing Facebook on a silver platter names, numbers, email addresses, and saying, here's the real estate agents in my area. I want to be in front of these people exactly. Whereas if you run an ad to, let's say that what I quote unquote general public, if you're running an ad to the general public, you significantly reduce down how you're able to target because a loan officer has to go into a housing category, which is a special ad category. It reduces how we can target. So we can't target by age, gender, income, all of those things. So essentially, you may or may not get in front of who you're trying to be, right? So if you're trying to get in front of home buyers, you're going to get in front of everyone in the Tampa Bay area if you're targeting Tampa, right? There's ways to work around that, but it's just not as beneficial as literally uploading and handing Facebook a list on a silver platter.
And so I'd get my list of my past database, whether it's 300 or 3,000, like whatever it is. I'd upload those.
Yep.
And then I'd get my list of what we would call qualified agents that have a certain amount of buyer sites in the last 12 months or the last 6 months,
Yep.
upload those lists and then run ads independently to them. What do I say on these ads?
Yeah, great question. So, a couple of things. One is if you are brand new to running ads, one of the things I love to run ads is actually to your entire database. So, real estate agents, past clients, pals, anyone that you have, uploading it into one ad campaign and running a storytelling review ad. So basically, where you would do a story, like a 30-second little like snippet video of how you helped a home buyer close a loan or whatever the case may be, right? And pull some of those maybe 5-star reviews that you have on Google and run a review ad. And the reason I like to run this first and run it to everybody is because what I see a lot of times is your past clients, right? They love you, they know you, they trust you. They see your ad, they see your story, they see your reviews, and they're like, they usually will engage and they'll be like, oh my gosh, Carl's the best. I worked with his team. He was fantastic, right? But guess what? The ad is also running to those real estate agents that you're calling, you're doing your
Mm.
DSP with, right? And so now these agents are also seeing that engagement from what they don't realize is your past clients are being directly targeted, right? So they're seeing that engagement like, oh, wow, Carl did this, and he has great reviews. He also has people commenting, so I find that to be a really good starting point. And then from there, I definitely recommend breaking it out, because the verbiage is going to look different to a real estate agent as it is to a past client or a pal, right? Like, if you're talking to a real estate agent, your verbiage is going to be client based. Are your clients struggling? I find second opinion ads being really good for agents, right? Like, do you have a client that got rejected for X, Y, and Z? Again, same thing with storytelling. Hey, we've been able to get a client approved for this really difficult situation, this entrepreneur, whatever the case is. So when agents are scrolling their Facebook, like, oh, I have a client that's struggling to get approved. Maybe this person can help me. Let me try to reach out to them. So definitely separating it after that review ad into various categories. Another thing is what's going on currently. So a lot of ads that do well are kind of like market updates, kind of what's going on in the area. Another one is if there's certain programs. So, like, we're both in the state of Florida, we have Hometown Heroes typically every year. That is a good one to run ads to for those that are like pre-approved and looking, as well as real estate agents, and how that can benefit their clients, or if you're still looking. So a lot of different things that you can run ads to in those different categories.
So it sounds like a lot of it you said in the beginning is like just getting viewed by the right people, right? Our past
Mm-hmm.
database, stay top of mind, referral partners that might get our pre-approval letters next month, or
Yep.
perhaps we meet them at the real estate association and they know who we are because they've seen our picture and our ads. I've often thought, like for me, Facebook, like there's a little phrase that I use: Oprah can't make a cold call.
Yeah.
And where Oprah, I mean, she literally, I think, could call anybody in the United States
I would know who
and
Oprah is.
ask for a meeting, and who would say no, right?
Right.
Because everybody knows her.
Yep.
And so I think positioning ourselves, I think for the first time ever, like social media ads lets us become the Oprah or the
Yep.
McDonald's or the Nike or the Walmart, that we can be
Mm-hmm.
seen on the exact same digital billboard that they're on. Hey, I got a
Yeah.
question for you. Why doesn't McDonald's and uh, Walmart advertise on Facebook? You ever figure that? You ever wonder that? I never
I
see.
see Walmart ads.
Do you? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I do see sponsored ads for Walmart. I don't see McDonald's, but I would say probably because they're everywhere. And
Yeah,
so
but
you
they
already
they
know
got
who they're on every corner, right?
yeah,
So
but
they're
they got billboards.
they got
They
billboards.
do
So
they do TV ads that cost
they're a
stupid.
retail location, so you're driving by them. So essentially, as a loan officer, you don't have a billboard on every corner like McDonald's does.
Yeah,
So how can you relay that you're everywhere in your area? And that's going to be through direct ads.
I get it. What kind of budget are we looking at here? So if I'm just getting started and say, I don't know, say I've got, I don't know, past database of 300, 500, something like that. I got a list of 300, 400 qualified agents here in my local area. I went to like modelmatch.com and for almost nothing, download a list of qualified agents. Uh, I've got that. Say it's 3 to 500, and I got 3 to 500 in my past database. What kind of budget am I looking at here? Like, what's
Yeah.
not what's the least I could spend? What's the average amount that you recommend to move the needle? Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free, cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think, or tell me what you'd like to hear next.
Yeah, so honestly, when it comes to Facebook ads, you can like minimally spend money. It's $5 a day will get you quite far with a list that size. I mean,
That's
even
amazing.
going, yeah, that's it. That's it. And it's $5 a day per campaign. So if you are running an ad to your real estate agents and to your past clients separately, you're looking at two different ad spends. So it would be $10 a day. But I mean, that's minimal compared to getting a billboard, right? Or anything like that, and being
Yeah.
able to literally hand them on a silver platter. And the great thing, I'm glad you actually mentioned Model Match because I love that platform and it's great. You can continuously go in and add real estate agents to your list by going into that system and pulling them. So you can constantly still build your list every month. And the great thing with ads is as you gain either more past clients or you find more agents or you download more lists, right? You can constantly go into Facebook and add in those lists every month, every quarter, whatever you kind of want to do for updates. And then Facebook will not duplicate. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if Sarah is in both of these lists, you just target both lists. Facebook is not going to charge you for two of the same Sarahs. So it's absolutely fantastic for that too, is you can constantly keep updating it inside of Facebook.
So when somebody goes my ad and then they click on it, are they typically opting into something? Like, so they click on the ad, and I know there's all kinds of journeys they can go on. What's the
Yep.
typical journey? So typically they click on my ad. Typically, what are they opting in? Are they watching a video? Like what's happening typically?
Yeah, so most of my clients, they're usually going to their like main website or something like that, right? So like a contact page, or a lot of my clients will also do lead forms where like if the client or someone is interested in more information, they'll fill out a form on Facebook, so like a Facebook form, so they're not going off site from Facebook, which is a good option.
Okay.
So those are kind of the two main call to actions. But in a reach campaign, our main objective is literally visibility. So the clicks to a website or anything like that is always going to be like a little cherry on top. It's never the actual like objective of the ad. And I think a lot of people get confused with that because when you ask someone like, well, what is your goal? They're like, well, I want leads. I want, I want people to like my Facebook page. I want people to go to my website. And Facebook only optimizes for one thing in a
Mhm.
campaign. So if you're trying to get in front of as many people as possible, that is the only objective Facebook is going to have. If you're trying to get leads, that's the like those are only objectives. So most of the time it's going to like a website. I do love if LOs have opt-ins, right? So if you have something for your, agents that they can download, that you can say, "Hey, like I have this free thing that you can use for your first-time home buyers. It's a whole guide and your information is that's just one less thing that an agent has to like create on their own and it's branded for you." Like those are really good things if you do have them.
Any big mistakes that you see loan officers doing in the Facebook ad world?
I would say not changing out their ads frequently enough. So
Mm.
I have a lot of LOs that will get their ads up and running, right? And then either forget about them or not change them out. And when you're running to a custom audience, it's way different than if you're running ads to a general population. Custom audiences can typically, especially if you're under 1,000, 5,000 in a list, you can get through that $5 a day in about 10 to 14 days, right? Even sometimes 5 to 7 days if it's even less. So switching out your ads, your ad topics every couple of like every week, every 2 weeks, I think is key. And I see a lot of LOs like they'll leave them up for months. Now, if they're working, that's one thing, but obviously you want to have different concepts and different ideas and different things that agents are going to see coming through their feeds.
Got it. So what's next? Anything new coming up in the Facebook world that I know Google was doing a lot of changes here recently. Do you see
Yeah.
any like any way that the AI is going to affect our ads or
Yeah, man. There's stuff always changing. I do know that Facebook is trying to eliminate bots and spam. So like if you ever have ran ads, you 99.9% have gotten a million messages from bot accounts that are like, your
yeah,
ad account is about to get, shut down and it's complete spam. So I do know
yeah.
they are trying to crack down on those things. And inside of the ad world, they actually have started implementing AI stuff. So like even helping with caption creations and different things like that, little AIs like ideas will pop up from your caption and say try this or try that. And then they also have, if you do run ads to a general public population, their AI has done a really good job in speeding up the process of finding kind of who you're trying to target. So there's a couple of things on the back end there that have been rolling out slowly but surely in the ad space.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely love Facebook ads. I think Facebook ads really is kind of what put me on the map,
Yeah.
both in the mortgage side and on the training side. Uh, I remember when Facebook ads first came out, I saw this thing about targeting the real estate agents. And so I was targeting the real estate agents, and I'd walk into the local real estate association, and it was weird sometimes. Like I had people coming up to me. It was weird. Like, I'm not weird, but it was something new to me. Let me just say it that way, where it was almost like a I called it the weatherman factor. That
Mm,
it's, everybody knows the weatherman, or the local weather lady. They do all the grand openings for cars and new restaurants. Is for whatever reasons, oftentimes it's the weather person, right? And
right.
and and that's kind of what it felt like, and that when I called people up to, like when I called up listing agents, because it was multiple offers, and the buyer's agent said, "Hey, can you call the listing agent, tell them, how solid this contract is?" And I'd get on the phone and go, "Is this the Carl White that I know?" And I go, "Well, yeah, it is." She goes, "Oh, wow." And it really moved the needle for me, and
Uh-huh.
continues to.
Yep.
And I find that anytime they make a change, it just makes it better and better and better. Like we used to do a fair amount of newspaper advertising,
Okay. Yeah.
magazine advertising, radio advertising. We stopped all
Hmm.
that. Like this wasn't just cheaper, it was better. Like we
Yeah.
got better results for less dollars, so it's real good. So tell us what services do you actually, I know, so for years now, you've helped me
Hmm.
personally with my Facebook ads. So and I'm just being totally transparent. I don't even know what you do for us, but I know it works, right? So,
That's how most of
so,
my clients are. They're like, I have no idea what you're
but thank
doing, but
you.
when I talk to agents, they're like, I see you everywhere. And they're
Yeah,
like, the
but
only
thank
thing I'm doing
you.
is whatever you're doing. So
Yeah, so thank you and don't stop. What exactly is it that you do for loan officers across the nation?
yeah, so done for you content. So I'm basically taking over your ads, creating them, doing the captions, doing the graphics, everything in the back end, managing it, and really kind of digging into analytics. So, one of the things that I love about marketing in general, too, is the analytics side. So, understanding, okay, do your people like the orange graphic or do they like the blue graphic? Do they like video content? Do they like the, image of you, right? So, really kind of diving into that and optimizing ads. So, we are a done for you agency. So, done for you Facebook ads, done for you social media marketing.
All right, and well, you certainly come with my highest recommendations.
I appreciate that.
And just for clarity, you don't pay to be on this podcast. I actually you don't write me checks. I actually write you checks. And so this endorsement is not a paid endorsement. It's really working for me. And sometimes I'm almost hesitant to bring you on because, like, you're my little secret weapon.
Right?
But but it would be very uncool. It'd be
Yeah,
very uncool not to share with people what you do for us. So I know
I appreciate
you
it.
do a lot for me. I know you do a lot for Steve.
Mhm.
I know you
Yep.
do a lot with Chris. So you're weaved into our whole organization over here,
Yeah.
and it's been a really 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 good run with you doing that. So I'm very grateful. If somebody wants to learn more about your service, what's the best way to reach out, Chelsea?
Yep. They can go to fullyalignedmarketing.com and all of my services, contact information is all there, or any social media platform as well, Fully Aligned Marketing.
All right, and we'll put the little link in the show notes here. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Like if you're somebody that's ever struggled with call reluctance,
Mm-hmm.
how different is it that when you know that when you call somebody, they know who you are?
1000%. Yeah.
It just makes a world of difference. It boosted my confidence, and
Mm-hmm.
frankly, I find I walk in the room, with my shoulders back, because it's like I know that
I've seen you. Yeah.
yeah, I know that
And
I'm
it's
recognized, and
it's
it and
even
it
that like subconscious piece too of if you've been calling someone and they haven't answered, and then you call, you run your ads, and then you call and they're like, wait a second, like that name looks familiar. They feel like they know you even though they literally maybe have only seen your face and your name. They're more likely to either pick up or respond to your message or whatever the case may be because they think they know you based off of seeing you front and center on their feeds.
I
It's
will
amazing
lit
how social media works in that
it
manner.
is. I will literally walk into the real estate association and I'll have not strange people, but strangers to me
Yeah.
come up and give me a hug around the neck,
Hmm.
and like I'm their long lost brother, or I mean, it's a fascinating thing.
It is. It
It-
is.
but it's the same for me. It's the same thing that, like, again, I mentioned Oprah because I'm a huge Oprah fan. I'm just what she's accomplished in her life is just extraordinary. Where
Yeah,
she came from,
incredible.
which I love. Small town girl makes good, type of stories. But like if I saw her or Brad Pitt or insert any number of Matthew McConaughey, is like, dude, how are you doing? Like I feel like I know him,
Yeah.
because I've
Yep.
seen him, on the big screen, small screen, and I think it can have that same effect.
A
And it's never
thousand
been
percent.
it's never been easier and cheaper and more of a sure thing to do. And I know they're seeing it because we uploaded the list to Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is showing those ads to them. So
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
effective.
And I
So
mean, if you think about like, if you follow an influencer or, I mean, someone you never met, right? You feel like just because they show up in your feed and all of that, that you're like, you literally know them and they're like your best friend. So it's incredible what social media has been able to accomplish. And I think being able to target exactly who you want to target and being real and authentic as well, I think is
mhm.
huge too, because you again you want to be their best, like you want them to recognize you and not always be salesy too. So also
Yeah,
sharing things that you do in your own community, all that stuff, I think it's just huge in social media and could be so beneficial.
including your flub ups.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
I do. I think that's important. Like, people love watching bloopers kind of thing. And so
Yes.
you go, guys, you'll never guess the stupid thing I just did, right?
Yep.
And people appreciate that.
One of my social media reels that actually did the best for me was a blooper reel of me, like I was doing recordings of videos and like I just snipped pieces out of like all of the videos I did for the week of like me just blah, 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 and it is the best performing one because people want to see the real and raw you too. And yeah, I think that's huge.
love it. What was that website again?
Fullyalignedmarketing.com.
Fullyalignedmarketing.com. Chelsea Gardner, I appreciate you.
I
You're a very,
appreciate you.
very dear friend. I honor our friendship, and thanks for helping us so much in my personal business. I'm grateful for you. Thank you, my friend.
I'm grateful for you. Thanks, Carl.